Thinking back to the West Virginia game, you guys came out and started pass, pass, pass. And I don't think that's something you do too often. What was it about that game that made you think that was the way to go?
Well, to be honest with you, crazy enough, the very first play was we hit it a little bit by the motion, but it was the exact same play that we did a year ago against them. And the second play was actually a run with a pass option. And not that anybody would realize it, but the wide receiver that was going to get the ball thrown to him, unfortunately, was blocking for the run. So Will just threw it away. And then the third one obviously put us in a 3rd and 10, and obviously we were going to throw it there. So we should have really went play action, shot play, run, or free hitch, and then obviously the third down dictated what we called there.
Okay, and Oklahoma State seems to be one of the most improved defensive teams in the conference this year. What is it that stands out about them right now?
Well, I think the reason that they're I don't know that where they exactly were a year ago, but the reason they're so good right now is their back three, quote I'd call it the safeties, the nickel outside linebacker, and then the 2 safeties. Man, they really run the defense and do a great job and make up for a lot of things that maybe the front end doesn't get done sometimes.
And do you expect Riley to be able to play this weekend right now?
It'll be more game day decision, but it'll be something we'll have to deal with when it gets here, but don't really know at this time.
All right. Thanks, Courtney. Appreciate it.
We gonna let him off this easy? Anybody else have a question? Hey, Ryan Black, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, I was wondering because I know when we got to talk to Coach Kleiman the other day, he said that he didn't sit in on the meeting with Will and Coach Klein when they kind of went over the West Virginia tape. So how did he end up grading out?
Obviously, anytime you have turnovers, you're not going to grade out nearly as high as you'd like. I felt like on intermediate and short passing game, he really graded out well, made good choices, threw it well. He didn't drive the ball down the field very well, to be honest with you. And that's something that I think he'll continue to get better at. We had one ball that he threw deep down the field that got intercepted. That one, I thought the DB made a great play. But I think he would tell you that if he throws that ball that is more of a line drive, put it on the wideout, it's not even put in that situation. And the best part about him is he continually is learning. Anybody's going to get rattled a little bit when you get beat like we did. But he understands wholeheartedly that it's a team effort, and he's our guy right now, and we feel good about him.
And then, after the loss, Coach Kleiman said that he thought maybe catching that touchdown would be a boost for Malik for the rest of the year. Did you maybe notice so far this week in practice he had a little more pep in his step?
I don't know really in practice, but I think just as an overall, I think it can create some confidence for him, and we need him. I mean, I think all of us would say that if the young man can get healthy and really go 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row playing fast and feeling good about himself, he can be a really good player.
And then last thing from me is obviously Briley gets so much of the attention because he's the one catching passes and catching touchdowns. But how do you break down the rest of your group, how they played between Sammy, Jax, Mason, et cetera?
Yeah, well, I really look at them a little bit in two categories. Obviously, Leonard and Sammy are much taller, longer, athletic guys. Sammy, obviously, the most athletic of the two. And then Jackson and Barta, Mason does a good job of just being that lunch pail type of guy that's going to come to work and does everything that he can do to help us be successful. Jackson's got a little bit more quick twitch, a little bit more just a fluid, even though he doesn't maybe look like it, a fluid athlete, a guy that catches the ball naturally. At some point we do need to keep getting Jax even into the run game as far as handing it to him. And we've had some plays in for him, but we just haven't had the opportunity to give it to him. And we need to give him a little bit of throw him a bone a little bit and let him carry it because he can do something with it, I believe.
Michael.
Yeah, Courtney, you've mentioned having packages for a number of the different running backs. In what ways are those enhance those packages, and in ways that can impact the offense?
Well, the biggest thing we got to do is we got to execute what we are calling so that we can get more plays and get more opportunity to not be in a third down situation. I don't know the exact number of third downs we had this past week, but too many that were in a position where now you're not able to say, okay, let's put Tyler in for a specific run player. Let's put Harry in for a specific. We got to do a better job of being able to execute what we're doing so we can use everybody's tools.
In what ways have you seen Sammy Wheeler evolve as tight end?
Well, crazy enough, Sammy, I believe, has always been able to run and catch the football and do some things, but he's getting better as a blocker. He's becoming, it wasn't his natural position, and he's starting to really understand, how to keep your hands tight, how to shoot your hands, how to have a great base when you make contact and drive block people. And he's becoming more of that he can be in there from a run game standpoint as well as a passing game standpoint.
Ryan?
Hey, Courtney, I want to jump back in one last time. I was just curious, with knowing the capabilities that Oklahoma State's offense has the goal line kind of scoring, is that more of an emphasis this week, considering that first drive where you guys had the first and goal at the 2? Is like basically just knowing that, hey, guys, we've got to punch it in the end zone. We can't settle for field goal Saturday.
Yeah, the crazy part is that was a huge emphasis last week because a year ago I really felt like the reason we weren't successful against West Virginia was because they forced us to kick 2 field goals in the red zone. This past week against them, first play, obviously, we try to run a little quarterback option and doesn't work. And the second play, I honestly believe Jax caught the football, rolled over, and I thought their DB did a great job punching it out when he was sitting on the ground. Obviously, they didn't. It's not a touchdown because he didn't finish the play. But scoring touchdowns in the red zone has to be a high premium. And thank goodness we've done a nice job for the most part. But we've got to continue to be better when you play against really, really good defenses, and that's what they have.